On October 16, 2016,
is beyond belief that the case would be dismissed. The Sheriff's Department.
Lives of one family in Converse, Texas, changed forever. That morning, Sharon Elke took her 3 young grandchildren.
We believe that ambush took place in the kitchen area.
To a pumpkin patch. The children were full of energy, eager to enjoy the cool autumn air, running between displays of orange pumpkins and hay bales.
Only begging that
A very loving family that grieve today and
Sharon
always
captured
will.
photos of the
A
outing,
loving mother,
the kind
a
of
sister, and a
simple
friend
joy
to
that
many.
Kylie,
That's
their
what Sharon
mother,
wants people to
always
remember,
loved to
not her
see.
brutal.
When she sent the pictures to Kylie's phone, she expected a quick reply. What came instead was silence. At first, Sharon tried to push away the unease, reminding herself that Kylie might have been busy or distracted. But as time passed, the lack of response grew heavier. This was not typical. Kylie always replied quickly when it came to her children. The absence of her
Murder
voice
in
felt
October of
unnatural,
2016.
wrong.
According
Sharon
to
knew
BCSO
something was
investigators, Warren was found
Trusting
dead
her
after a
instincts,
welfare
she
check.
made the
She had been out
difficult
with
call to
friends
the
the night
police,
before.
requesting a
Investigators say
wellness
a
check
dark-colored
at her daughter's
SUV
home.
was in the area around
When
the time
officers
she was
arrived,
murdered.
They entered
In
a
an
quiet
effort to
house.
bring justice,
What they found inside would confirm Sharon's deepest fears. Lying on the kitchen floor was Kylie Warren, only 26 years old, with a gunshot wound to the head. The scene was stark, the suddenness undeniable. For the family, the shock was immediate and consuming. Kylie's 3 daughters had lost their mother in a single moment, and her loved ones were left with questions
Sharon has
that
raised
no one could yet
$5,000,
answer.
bringing the reward for
The
information
unsolved
to
murder became not just a
$10,000.
personal
For my
tragedy,
daughter, it
but
wasn't
a mystery
hard.
that still endures.
It was just
This
something that
moment
had to be
marked the
done.
abrupt end
I
of
need
Kylie's
for the
life
person to come
and the
forward
beginning
more
of a
than I
fight
need that
for
money.
answers that
According to
continues
Sharon,
to
her
this
daughter
day.
was a victim of domestic
Kylie
violence.
Warren's story begins in Bremerton, Washington, where she spent part of her childhood and early school years. From the start, she stood out for her sociable nature, easily making friends and drawing people toward her with her openness. She was described as a social butterfly, someone who thrived in the company of others and built bonds with ease. However, her path was not without challenges. When her
Violence.
family
She had a
later
protection
relocated
order
to
against
San
her
Antonio,
husband
Texas,
and was planning to
she
divorce
entered
him.
high school with
Sharon
optimism,
says her daughter's
but
ex was picked up for the
bullying soon
murder,
disrupted her
but the district
experience.
attorney tells us
The
his
harassment
office is
grew
waiting
so
for new
severe
evidence
that
to be
Kylie
developed in
decided
the
not to
case
complete high
before
school
moving
in the
forward
traditional
with the
way.
charge.
Instead, she pursued her general educational development credential, showing determination to move forward despite setbacks. Earning her GED was not the end of her accomplishments. Kylie went on to study medical billing and coding, successfully gaining certification. Yet, the opportunity to use her training never came. Her life's trajectory was cut short before she could explore this professional future.
He says the investigation
What she
is
did
ongoing.
demonstrate throughout her
It
life, however, was
is
resilience
beyond belief
and love.
that
Her brother Cody
the case
described
would
her
be
personality in
dismissed.
one word.
The Sheriff's Department knew nothing about
Kylie
it. They
embraced
have
life's simple joys. She loved summer, enjoyed tanning outside, and delighted in spending time with family. Music was another constant source of expression for her, shaping moments of fun and connection. Nights out with friends were part of her young adulthood, though she remained grounded, never defined by excess. Her warmth, loyalty, and protective bond with Cody revealed her depth.
plenty of evidence
These
to
traits
put
painted
him
her
away.
as more than
Sharon
a
hopes
victim of
someone
violence.
has evidence,
She was
information,
a
or proof
vibrant,
that could
loving
finally
woman
put the
whose
killer
life
behind
reflected
bars.
compassion
I need this
and
done
joy.
for my daughter
The promise she
and
carried
for
into adulthood
my
was left
family to
unfinished.
be able
Yet
to
her presence remains
rest at
vivid
night
in the
peacefully
memories of
that
those
he
who
was
knew her.
You
caught.
can call Crime
Kylie
Stoppers
Warren's
at
relationship with her brother,
210-224-STOP.
Cody,
Aaron
was one
Wright,
of the
KINS
strongest
5
bonds in her
Eyewitness
life.
News.
Close in age, the two grew up side by side, forming a connection that was defined by trust, protection, and shared experiences. Cody recalled how they were inseparable, often looking out for one another through both small daily challenges and more serious struggles. He was protective of her, and she returned that loyalty in equal measure, creating a bond that anchored both of them as they grew older. One memory in particular
October
revealed
23rd,
Kylie's ability to draw people in.
2016, Kylie
When the
Warren was
siblings
found
hosted a
dead
party at their small
inside of her
apartment,
home,
Cody invited a
Chestnut
few
Bar in
friends,
Converse.
expecting a
The
modest gathering.
26-year-old bartender
Yet,
left
when the
behind
night arrived,
3 young
most
daughters.
of the guests were there for
We
Kylie.
believe that ambush
Her
took
presence
place in
filled
the
the
kitchen
room,
area,
her
where
charisma
Kylie was
attracting
found
attention
shot once,
effortlessly.
point-blank range, right
For
between
Cody,
the eyes.
it was a reminder of how people naturally gravitated toward his sister. She had the kind of personality that made others feel welcome, included, and valued. As they transitioned into adulthood, their relationship never wavered. Cody admired Kylie's love for her children and her family, noting how she poured herself fully into caring for others. Yet his own path carried him through difficulties.
But it was not the first time a
decade of
gun
service
went
in the
off
US
at her
Army
home.
ended with
Just
medical
3
retirement,
days before
leaving
her
him to
murder,
grapple with the weight of combat
investigators from the
memories.
Bexar County
The
Sheriff's
murder of
Office
his
were
sister
called out
deepened
for
that
another
burden,
shooting.
During
pushing
that
him toward
incident,
darker
an
habits
acquaintance of
and long
hers
periods of emotional
actually
struggle.
fired shots
Counseling
at
and faith
the person
eventually
that
gave Cody
Kylie
a way
had been
forward,
involved in a
leading him to
relationship with.
rediscover
There
parts
has
of
been a
himself
person
he
of
thought were
interest.
lost.
But the
This
nightmare
journey
continues
highlights
for
how
her
Kylie's
mother,
death was
since
not
a
an isolated
suspect has
tragedy,
not been
but a
charged.
ripple that spread
Yet.
through the
Now
lives of
Bexar
her
County
loved ones.
deputies need
Even
your
in
help
grief,
to charge
the
her
memories
killer.
they shared continue to give meaning and strength. Section 4. Kylie as a motherhood defined Kylie Warren's life more than anything else. At just 26 years old, she was raising 3 young daughters, ages 2, 3, and 4. Her children were the center of her world, and those closest to her remembered how her face would brighten whenever she spoke about them.
What we do
Every
know is that
detail of
around the
their
time
lives
of
mattered
the
to her,
murder, which is about
and
2 o'clock
every
in the morning, we
milestone
believe,
filled
a
her with
dark-colored
pride.
Suburban, just like this
Family
one, was
members
seen
described
in
how
the
she
area.
poured unconditional
Her
love into
family
her role
is
as a mother,
demanding justice.
never wavering in
Only
her
begging
devotion.
that
Kylie's
the
idea of joy
person
was often
that
simple
knows something,
and centered
please come
on her
forward.
children's happiness.
Turn this person
Outings
in.
to places
These
like
young
Chuck E.
girls
Cheese were not just moments of
who
entertainment,
had no
but
say in
opportunities for
any
her to
of
create
this
memories with her daughters.
deserve that right
She
to
wanted
know
them to
that
feel safe,
the person will
loved,
pay for
and surrounded by
what they
fun.
did to their mother.
Her commitment went beyond daily care. It was about building stability and teaching them to grow with love as their foundation. Those who observed her saw how naturally she embraced motherhood and how much of her identity became tied to nurturing and protecting her daughters. The impact of Kylie's devotion continues to resonate today. Despite the tragedy of losing their mother at such young ages, her daughters are thriving. They excel academically, making the honor roll.
Been out with friends the
and they
night
are
before.
active in sports,
Investigators say
showing
a dark-colored
resilience and
SUV was in the
determination
area
that
around the
mirror
time she was
qualities
murdered.
Kylie carried in life.
In an effort to bring
This
justice,
progress has been supported by the presence of family. Kylie's mother, Sharon, and her brother Cody stepped in to help raise the girls, ensuring they would always be surrounded by love and care. Kylie's motherhood provides the clearest window into the scale of the loss. Her absence is felt daily, yet her spirit endures in the lives of her children, who now carry her legacy forward with strength and hope.
Sharon has raised
Section 5.
$5,000, bringing the
Troubled
reward
relationship
for
in warning
information
times.
to
Kylie
$10,000.
Warren's
For my
personal life
daughter, it
was
wasn't
overshadowed
hard.
by a relationship that
It was
grew
just something that
increasingly
had to be
troubled.
done. I
She
need for the
secretly married
person
her
to come
boyfriend
forward
at a
more than
justice
I
of the
need
peace
that money.
office. But the
According to
union
Sharon, her
quickly
daughter was a
revealed
victim of
ongoing
domestic
problems.
violence.
What began as a partnership soon became marked by control and conflict, pulling Kylie into a cycle that her family recognized as dangerous. Her mother, Sharon Elker, saw the warning signs clearly and refused to ignore them. Determined to protect her daughter, Sharon took active steps to intervene. Those efforts were extensive. At different points, Kylie received police
She had a
escorts to
protection
women's
order against her
shelters.
husband and was
Legal
planning to
steps were
divorce him.
also attempted,
Sharon says her
including
daughter's ex was
filing
picked up for
divorce
the
in
murder,
hope of
but the
breaking
district
free
attorney
permanently.
tells us his office is
Sharon
waiting for
even
new
arranged
evidence
for
to
her
be
daughter to
developed in
spend
the
time in
case
Colorado,
before moving
hoping
forward with
distance
a
would provide
charge.
safety and
The
clarity. For a time, it seemed possible that Kylie might escape. Yet, despite these measures, she returned to the relationship. The control exerted over her was strong, and the cycle repeated, underscoring how difficult it can be to leave abusive situations, even with support. Sharon's concern grew urgent. Months before Kylie's death, she reached out directly
He says
to
the
district
investigation
attorney.
is ongoing.
Her warning was
It
scarred. If action
is
was
beyond
not taken
belief
against her
that
daughter's
he
partner,
would be,
he would kill
that the
her.
case would be
It was a
dismissed.
plea born of
The
fear
sheriff's
and
department
conviction,
knew nothing about it.
reflecting how
They
visible
have
the danger had become. Ultimately, Kylie attempted to leave for good. She expressed her desire to raise her daughters with her mother, a turning point that reflected courage and determination. Tragically, her decision came too late. This chapter in Kylie's story illustrates the systemic obstacles victims face, the devastating consequences of inaction, and the unheeded warnings that preceded a life cut short. Section 6. Events leading to the murder. The final days of Kylie Warren's life revealed a series of events that would soon take on chilling significance. Only 3 days before her death, she was spending time with another man. When her estranged husband discovered this involvement, his reaction was immediate and hostile.
Plenty of
An
evidence
altercation
to
occurred
put him
between the two
away.
men,
Sharon
though
hopes
no
someone
physical
has
harm came
evidence,
from it.
information, or proof
Still,
that could
the
finally
encounter
put the
heightened
killer
existing
behind
tensions
bars.
I
and
need this
underscored
done
the
for my
volatility of
daughter
the situation
and for
surrounding
my
Kylie's
family
personal
to
life.
be able
On
to
October 16th,
rest at night
2016,
peacefully that he
those
was caught.
tensions
You can
culminated
call
in
Crime
tragedy.
Stoppers at
That morning,
210-224-STOP.
Kylie's
Aaron Wright,
mother took
KINS
her
5
3 young
Eyewitness
daughters
News.
to a pumpkin patch, capturing joyful photos of the outing. When she sent them to Kylie's phone, no reply came. Later, during a police wellness check, officers found Kylie's body on her kitchen floor, a gunshot wound to the head, ending her life at just 26 years old. The suddenness of the act left her family devastated, and suspicion quickly turned toward her estranged husband. Investigators and family alike believed he bore
October
responsibility.
23rd,
His history with
2016,
Kylie,
Kylie
combined
Warren
with the
was
recent
found dead
altercation and her
inside
attempts
of
to
her
leave
home
him,
on
positioned
Chestnut
him
Bar
at the
in
center of the
Converse.
case.
The
A
26-year-old
grand jury
bartender
later
left
indicted him,
behind
seemingly
3 young
confirming
daughters.
those suspicions.
We believe that
Yet,
ambush
to the
took
shock
place
of
in the
those
kitchen
closest to
area,
Kylie,
where
the
Kylie was
district
found
attorney's
shot
office in
once,
San
point-blank
Antonio
range,
dropped
right
the
between the
charges.
eyes.
This decision left her murder officially unsolved. For her family, disbelief and anger followed, compounded by the knowledge that warnings had gone unheeded.
There has been a
The
person
case
of
stood
interest,
as both a
but the
personal
nightmare
tragedy and a
continues for
broader
her
example
mother
of the
since a
failures that
suspect has
sometimes
not
surround
been
domestic
charged
violence
yet.
investigations.
Now Bexar County
Years later,
deputies
the
need your
unanswered
help to
questions
charge her
still weigh
killer.
heavily, a reminder of the justice that has yet to be served. Section 7. Aftermath and struggles of the family. The aftermath of Kylie Warren's murder left her family in a state of deep emotional, psychological, and spiritual turmoil. At the time of her death, her brother Cody was stationed in Korea with the U.S. Army. The news reached him thousands of miles away,
What we
forcing
do
him
know
to
is that
process
around
the
the time
unimaginable
of
from
the
a
murder,
distance
which is about 2
before
o'clock in the
returning
morning,
home
we
to
believe,
face the
a
harsh
dark-colored
reality in
Suburban,
person.
just like this one, was
Grief
seen
quickly
in the
gave way
area.
to destructive
Her
coping
family
mechanisms.
is demanding justice.
Cody withdrew into himself,
Only begging
struggling with the combined weight
the
of combat
person
memories,
that knows something,
post-traumatic
please
stress,
come forward.
and the loss of
Turn
his
this
sister.
person in. These
Smoking
young
and zoning
girls
out became daily routines, a
who
way to
had no
blunt the
say
pain.
in any of
In
this
time, counseling
deserve
offered
that
him a
right
lifeline.
to know that
Through
the person
therapy,
will
he
pay
began
for
to untangle
what
the
they
knots
did
of
to their
trauma that
mother.
held him. The process was slow and painful, but eventually, Cody found strength in faith. His baptism and public testimony became a turning point, symbolizing not only a personal renewal, but also a way to honor Kylie's memory. For their mother, Sharon, the challenges were equally heavy. She grieved the loss of her daughter while taking on the responsibility of caring for Kylie's 3 young girls. It was a dual burden of sorrow and resilience, requiring her to summon strength she never expected to need. Together, the family focused on ensuring the children continued to thrive. School achievements, sports participation, and counseling sessions all became part
But
of
it
the
was
healing
not
process.
the first time a
Yet,
gun went
the
off at her
unsolved nature
home.
of the
Just
case
3 days
remained a
before her
constant
murder,
reminder of
investigators
unfinished
from the
justice.
Bexar County Sheriff's
Their
Office
story
were called
demonstrates the
out for
endurance of
another
grief
shooting.
and the
During that
determination to
incident, an
transform
acquaintance
pain
of hers
into purpose,
actually
preserving
fired shots
Kylie's
at
memory
the
while
person
continuing
that
the
Kylie
fight
had
for
been involved
answers.
in a relationship with.
Section 8.
A dark-colored
Legacy
Suburban,
and
just like this
continuing
one,
fight
was
for
seen
justice.
in the area.
Kylie
Her
Warren's
family
legacy
is
continues to
demanding
shine through the
justice.
lives of those
Only
who loved
begging
her
that
most. Her
the
family
person
remembers her
that knows
as a
something,
beautiful soul,
please come
a
forward.
young woman whose
Turn this
warmth
person
and
in.
compassion
These
touched
young
everyone
girls
around her. For her mother,
who
Sharon,
had no
and her
say
brother,
in any
Cody,
of this
Kylie's presence
deserve that
has
right
not faded with
to
time.
know that
Instead,
the person will
it
pay
lives on
for
through memories,
what they
shared
did to their
stories,
mother.
and most vividly, through her 3 daughters. Each child carries forward a part of their mother, and their growth and accomplishments stand as living testaments to the love she gave them during her short life. Despite the years that have passed, justice for Kylie remains elusive. Her case is still unsolved, leaving her family with unanswered questions and ongoing grief. Yet they have refused to let the weight of loss silence them. Chirin has spoken clearly and firmly. This person will never take us down. It is a declaration of strength, underscoring the family's determination to continue fighting for accountability. For them, the pursuit of justice is not only
But it
personal,
was not the
but
first
also
time a gun
symbolic
went
of a
off
broader
at
issue.
her home. Just 3
Kylie's
days
story
before her
highlights the
murder,
painful reality of
investigators from the Bexar
unprosecuted
County
homicides
Sheriff's
and
Office
the
were
urgent
called
need
out
for
for
public
another
awareness.
shooting.
During that
The
incident,
family's
an
resilience
acquaintance of
ensures that
hers
Kylie's memory
actually
does
fired
not
shots
fade
at
into obscurity.
the person that Kylie had
Instead,
been involved in a
it fuels a
relationship with.
continued call for action. Viewers are encouraged to share Kylie's story and
But it
to
was
provide
not
any
the first time a
information that
gun
may
went
help
off
resolve
at her
case.
home. Just 3
Tips
days
can be
before her
directed to the
murder,
Bexar County Sheriff's
investigators from the
Office
Bexar
or
County
submitted
Sheriff's Office
anonymously
were
through
called
Crime
out for
Stoppers
another
of San
shooting.
Antonio. The closing note is not one of finality, but of persistence. Kylie's life and spirit remain central, carried forward by her family, her children, and the enduring fight for the justice she deserves.